I wouldn't finish. I'd leave.
What's a cow pie? Just like a bunch of poop? SpongeBob underwear. Sir. Quick, say that. No. That's the worst.
While I was shooting clients.
Hello and welcome to the Cameron and Tia Show. Today we have something fun, brand new. We are reading your most embarrassing moments, stories on the job.
Yeah.
So we collected them from you guys. You have some stories. You have some little short quips that we're gonna read. We're gonna just react to them, and I can't wait to hear about all of them. Okay, take it away, Cam.
All right, I'll start. This one is from Andrea. Andrea says, I was taking family pictures of my boyfriend's family, who I didn't know super well. It was when I was first starting out and we were taking them near a waterfall. Well, I was in jeans and a nice top, and as I took a step up onto another rock, I felt a rip. My jeans had completely ripped all across my butt, and we were still at the beginning of the session. That sounds like a nightmare.
Wait, in front of her boyfriend's family? Like, okay, I can't imagine, like, they're dating for, like, 3 months or something.
Yeah.
I mean, weeks, anything like that. No,
years.
Even, like, in front of your family, if my pants split. I have a feeling, okay, we tried not to read these in advance.
Yeah.
We literally just, like, copied and pasted them and then, like, assigned them to each other. And I have a feeling a lot are going to have to do with falling. Actually, the combo of falling and clothes malfunctioning.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also can't imagine the beginning of a session.
No.
I wouldn't finish. I'd leave.
Yeah, you'd be like, can we reschedule? I mean, definitely. I don't even understand that. Okay, another Andrea says, I was at my first wedding in a new town, second shooting for a local. Everything was great until dinner when we went upstairs in the loft area of the barn venue. There was a glass of wine in a cup that I accidentally knocked over. We cleaned it up, but a big old guy came walking up the stairs and asked us if we spilled something. He then turned around and showed us his entire back soaked with champagne I spilled. I was mortified. Apparently the floors were not sealed in any way between the slats. Okay, that's really, really bad. Okay, first of all, though, she did say wine at first, and then she said that champagne. If it's red wine, you're dead.
You're dead.
Like, I'd be pissed if I was that person, honestly. And then, like, what do? How do you apologize? You don't have any, like, rapport built with this, like, random guest. It's not like a groomsman that then you can, like, make a joke about it. And you're second shooting, too. So it's, like, on the...
But also, like, the venue should maybe seal those floors if you're
Yeah.
having drinks upstairs.
Agreed. Random barns, take note. Oh, yeah.
All right, next one is from Sarah. I almost fell down a huge flight of stairs while I was photographing the bride and groom exiting from the church. I missed a stair and did an awkward flail my arms backwards for 10 seconds while I tried to catch my footing. Luckily I didn't fall, but several guests tried to catch me. I also have to mention I scuffed my brand new leather boots and was pretty mad about that for the rest of the day. Same. I'd be pissed about that.
Yes. If Cam gets, like, scuffs or, like, malfunctions on his clothing or, like, boots, that's a thing. But also 10 seconds of flailing. Like, I'm sure it's realistically 2 seconds, but it feels like 10 seconds. And then same with this, with guests. It's like one thing at a wedding with family members, with bridal party that you've, like, had a day with, you know, like, they know you, they understand you, but this is, like, random people there. I like that one. Okay, Jolie says, I was rushing out the door and only had one bra clean. Story of my life. This one had an underwire that would poke me like crazy. No, that's the worst. You might not quite understand, but that's literally the worst thing ever. You can imagine.
I can imagine.
So I was rushing around trying to find things that could help it not hurt for the session duration. I grabbed a padding insert from a swimsuit and ran out the door. Smart, very smart. Fast forward to the middle of the session when we were walking through a field and the dad goes, hey, you dropped something. I turn around and see that he's holding the insert in his hand. No. Why'd you pick it up? I was mortified and made up some excuse about how the bag that I had with me is the same one I used when I went to the pool over the summer, and the swimsuit insert must have fallen out. It was so embarrassing. Okay, but also if he picked it up, if he had some time to see it fall out of somewhere and pick it up, he probably saw where it fell out of.
Yikes.
Sorry, Jolie. Sorry if I'm just bringing this reality to you. Nah, that's awkward.
Oh, man. Okay, Pansy says, I was walking in a field that had cows, and I stepped backwards and fell into a cow patty face first. Let's just say it was a very traumatic experience for me. The client laughed her head off and still likes to tell people about it.
Okay, I have a lot of questions. First of all, what What's a cow pie? Just like a bunch of poop?
I imagine
A poop?
one is big enough.
Oh, okay. Walking backwards, falls face forward. Does that mean walking backwards, reverse, falls forward?
I imagine trips and try to catch yourself.
Okay. Oh yeah, wait, that kind of makes sense. Okay. Oh, what do you do?
I don't know, but nice that maybe you're still friends with this client, I guess.
Perks. Love it. Okay, that's good. Okay, Ashley says, I had 3 engagement sessions in a row one week, and 2 out of 3, the guy's name was Ben. Oh. In 1 year, we had 2 couples, or like 2 sets of couples that, is that right? 2 sets of couples that were named Erica and Justin. The Ericas were spelt slightly different. The good thing is, one Justin we knew personally from high school, so that saved us. Otherwise, I was like, that is a recipe for disaster. Yeah. Okay, but the 2 out of the 3 of the guys' names was Ben. By the time the 3rd session rolled around, I could not stop calling Max the wrong name. Ben. I literally could not get the name out of my brain and likely called him the wrong name over 10 plus times. Girls! She says, LOL, all caps. Sis, oh man. And I knew I was doing it too. They were laughing, but I felt so bad. Okay. That one's kind of okay because then at that point, you start calling him the wrong name as a joke. I hope. I do that a lot with groomsmen as like kind of a cover, and then they'll think it's funny. So I feel like once you get past the threshold, it's like, that's maybe okay. Yeah. I don't know. Okay, another name story. Oh, Ashley! Okay, I was up front photographing the speeches, and the groom was going around the room thanking people, including the vendors. So sweet. Literally the best thing ever. That is like kind of the best advertisement too. If you get thanked in front of an entire wedding, you're like, I might be handing out some business cards tonight. Okay, but by the time he got to me, he had a few too many bush lights, and could not remember my name to thank me. All caps, LOL. At that point, we had spent countless hours together between the engagement session planning, the entire wedding day, so I was a little embarrassed. But I think he was too. We all had a good laugh. I'd be like, sir. I don't know about that one. Okay.
All right, let's see.
Wait, also that's not an embarrassing moment for you. That's all on him.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I understand feeling embarrassed.
Yeah, you'd be like...
But like, in reality, that's on him.
Especially when you're up front photographing toast, so you're like, you know that people can find you and be like, how are you reacting to this? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay, Matea says, I was in the middle of a session and was posing the couple with him behind her, hugging her. I told him to basically smell her hair, to get him to turn his face into hers. Well, he stepped out of the position/pose, took a handful of hair and smelled it and posed with it, looking at me. One whiff after, I was mortified for him and for me, but was also confused and embarrassed because he had no problem doing so and was serious the whole time.
What? Serious the whole time too? Like, oh my god! Like just like holding. Like what was the girl doing in that? Like his significant other. How do you recover?
That's weird.
Yeah, things like that. I'm like, whoa. I don't think I could. I think sometimes like medium things like that, I can recover really well from and like make a joke about something or something on a session. But like that.
Yeah, that's hard.
Okay, Justine says, I was shooting a winter wedding and fell into a snowbank, camera and all. Yes. My husband, who is also my assistant, came running over and tried to help me. But in true photographer fashion, I was like, I'm fine, take my camera. The couple was a friend of ours, so we all had a good laugh about it, and I was wet for the whole reception.
Oh, no.
That's, yeah. Wet for the whole reception. Even when I get my socks wet, like okay, we've had multiple times, Kevin and I complain about this, when our socks get wet, like during portraits, like the beginning of the day, because like
winter, especially.
Winter too, yeah. You're trying for your couple to not get wet or that kind of thing, so you're getting extra wet. Like handing over your umbrella to them or something, but then having wet socks the whole rest of the night is just miserable. One time, this literally sounds like a story of me, that I stepped in a hole. There were a bunch of rocks, and we were kind of walking out on this jut out, and I stepped in between rocks, but you didn't know because they were covered in snow. And I damaged our camera, actually, because I literally sunk down like 3 feet, and so the camera was just like on my strap, and I was holding it like this, and it dunk on a rock. I wasn't wet. I don't know. It just reminded me of that. Okay. Oh, your turn.
All right. Zoe says, I shot a wedding a few years ago, and long story short, the bride ran off with the groomsman 6 months later. And then she booked me for a couple session a couple months later, which is fine. Oh! But the ex-groom and new groomsman BF looked exactly alike to me. I kept slipping up and almost calling him the ex's name.
Oh my God. Oh my
And then I couldn't remember his actual name. I had way too many close calls, so I started to just refer to him as you, so I didn't get it wrong.
Yeah.
I think they knew, LOL.
Well, okay. First of all, so many things to unpack here.
Yes.
6 months later, with you have to assume it's one of his friends.
Yeah.
You know, like there is an odd case where he had a groomsman that was like her good friend or like family friend or something. But in most cases, that's his good friend. So 6 months is so quick. His friend, and then booking you too. So Cam and I have had this conversation because we've had couples who have separated and then have gotten remarried. And I'm like, that we had great relationships with. And so like for a bride, for example, that I'm thinking of, I was like, oh, I'm bummed that she didn't reach out to us. And Cam was like, this is very, very valid. He's like, why would you, no matter how much you loved a vendor, why would you want them at your second wedding? Because no matter what, you're like, thinking about the
You're
first
introducing
wedding.
that awkwardness.
You're introducing the awkwardness, yeah. And you're like almost paying homage to this first day that you had. Like homage, is that the right word?
It is a word. I don't know if it's the right word in this scenario.
Okay.
But yeah.
You're thinking of that, and you're like, oh, I liked this the first time. Let's do this the second time.
Yeah.
But it has nothing to do with it. So I don't know. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Let's see who's next.
Wait, me.
Oh.
You just did
Oh,
that
was
crazy
me. That was
one.
me.
Yeah,
That was me.
Zoe's. Oh my gosh. Okay, Megan says, I was starting a sister session. Ooh, a sister
Okay,
session.
that's cool.
And squatted and ripped my pants. I was so embarrassed and had to go 2 hours with ripped pants. Okay, I've heard of this before happening at a wedding, and so a photographer friend of ours has a backup outfit in her trunk. Which I really seriously consider. We've never done that. We're so ill prepared that this is happening to people. I did one time. I always wear jumpers or rompers to weddings, and I had one that I had worn like all season, and it was the end of a September wedding. And I go to the bathroom before the first dance, and you know you gotta take it all down when you go to the bathroom. So it's like around my ankles as I'm peeing, and I look down. The entire crotch is worn through. It was a hole like this big, but I had no clue. So I don't know, and I don't know if you can like really see it. So I had to like go out and like bend over a little for Cam. But I'm like, how long did I have that? Did I have that all day? Not as bad as ripping through the butt.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know. We need to get prepared, people. Put a spare outfit in your car.
Or something.
Okay, we're gonna do that.
Okay. All right, Abby. Abby says, I was going to shoot a girl from school and her cousin a couple months ago, and I would meet them outside the location because service was bad. I always get to the spot outside there early so I can have everything ready to go when I get there. I always set my settings before I go and shoot because I like to talk with my clients to get to know them better. Okay?
Smart.
Well, I turn on my camera and see that red flashing light that tells me it's dead. I knew there was an outlet inside the community center there, and so I told them what happened, and we drove into there and plugged it in. And if it couldn't have been any worse, the outlet didn't have power.
What?
So then we went and sat in a Safeway for a half hour to let it charge, and then we did our session, but I felt so bad. So now I have my camera battery plugged into the wall until the second I leave so that my camera doesn't die again.
First, might need some backup batteries. Then you wouldn't have to plug it in the whole time, just as a little piece of advice.
Yes.
We have like 8 batteries on us at a time, just in case. Who was this session for? Who did it say? Like, was it somebody she kind of knew?
A girl from my school and her cousin.
Like, not really, probably. That doesn't seem.
Like, kind of.
Would you reschedule at that point if you knew it
Yeah,
was
well, I
gonna...
mean, this kind of happened to us once.
What?
Like, one of our first years of shooting high school seniors.
Yeah.
We were down at Lake Ann shooting the senior, and our battery died.
Yes.
And I switched, and the next battery was dead.
Yes.
And I switched, and the next battery was dead. And so at this point, like, I'm mortified. And Tia wasn't shooting at this point. She was only directing.
Yeah.
So, like, I did the same thing. I went and found the nearest outlet, explained what was going on, plugged it in, and that outlet wasn't working.
Yeah.
And we were just at this random park. The concession stand thing was closed. And so at that point, we were just out of luck. So
We
had to
rescheduled.
reschedule.
Yeah, we had
like,
to.
We offered them extra prints and like
Yeah,
everything
so
we could.
apologetic.
Like,
I forgot
like,
about that.
We had like 10 minutes left of the shoot too. Just the worst part. Like sun was about to be setting. It was like
Yeah, like we had
perfect.
done everything up
We had done
until, like, 10
everything,
minutes.
and so we gave them like an extra half hour. We gave them prints. Yeah, it was.
That's the worst. But
It
at that
was
point,
so
if you're at the beginning of the
mortifying.
session, I think I'd reschedule, right?
Yeah, probably.
I just feel like you'd be so stressed just sitting there and like making small talk for that long.
Yeah.
Oh, girl. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's hard. Okay, Katie says, there was a time when I was still nursing my daughter, and she was one that had to have her hand in my shirt for comfort at all times. Oh, like she liked that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I had bumped into a potential client for Boudoir while shopping, and we were just chit-chatting about her interests and whatnot. Meanwhile, I had my daughter on my hip, not realizing her hand was in my shirt. You tend to ignore stuff like that when it happens all the time. And I hadn't realized because she dug her hand in my shirt, the buttons had come loose, and I was literally showing cleavage the whole time. She kept smiling and giggling, and me thinking it's because my daughter keeps giving her funny faces. She finally speaks up and says, "I'm so sorry, but your blouse is open." I was mortified, but honestly, she ended up booking with me that day because of it. She said it made her feel that much more comfortable how I handled the situation. Meanwhile, in my head, I'm just wanting to die. You just gotta roll with it sometimes. Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, good came out of it.
Yeah, good came out of it. Good that it's a Boudoir client, so they have like that level of comfort is like comforting, like kind of what you said.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's funny.
Yes. All right, so now we've got some quick hits.
Yeah. These are short ones that you guys
Yeah.
submitted, just like sentences instead of stories.
So Ariana says, I fell in a hole and it literally swallowed me up while I was shooting clients. I kind of wish I had more detail there. Sounds terrible.
This is from Ariana.
Yeah.
Ariana, you gotta comment more detail. What does this mean? Like a mud pit? Like a, what's it called? Sand?
Sinkhole.
Oh, a sinkhole.
Oh.
No, I'm talking about like a sand.
like
where you-
quicksand.
Quicksand. Okay. While she's shooting, she can't do it anymore. She's
Gone.
That's my favorite one so far. Okay. Sabrina says, running to meet my clients enthusiastically and absolutely got clotheslined by a branch. Does that sound like something I would do?
Oh, yeah, probably.
Just unaware of my surroundings, just so
yeah.
focused on like, oh, I'm so excited to see you guys. Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, Cassidy. I did a couples prompt where the girl sits on the guy's shoulders and she fell because he couldn't hold her.
Okay, shoulders, that's big.
hard.
Like, that's hard. That is a very hard one. That is a
Yeah.
little bit dependent on, like, what people's got going on. But sometimes we'll have, like, guys, I'm thinking one in particular, like a butt shelf prompt where they're facing belly button towards each other, and you just pick them up like that. I'm sorry, like, everybody can do that. And when people, like, don't try hard, I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. Okay.
But also, that's more embarrassing for him.
Yeah, not you. Okay, Madeline says, senior pics. Boy ripped his pants in the butt area and was wearing SpongeBob underwear. So that one too. Did you send him home? Madeline, comment. Tell us. You gotta send him home. And like, especially, like, what if that's his outfit for the entire time? Like, a lot of times, especially senior boys, they'll wear the same pants for a couple outfits, or if not all of them. Okay.
Yikes. All right, Hannah. Sunk my leg in a mud hole while taking family pics. They had to help me out of it.
That's nice. But a mud hole. What was the language of the other one?
I fell in a hole. It literally swallowed me up while I was shooting clients.
Okay. Well.
So at least you weren't swallowed.
Yeah. Anna, at least you weren't swallowed. Okay. Kelly says, riding a wedding party bus, hit a bump. Wedding party buses already. So many awkward situations. So many. You're so tight. Everybody's drinking. You're just chilling. Spit out water all over the groomsmen in front of me. I do think there's recovery in that, kind of what we talked about earlier. That hopefully you're able to be like, I'm sorry. Hopefully he's getting a little tipsy too. That's funny though. Wait, also the bump makes you spit out. Kind of, Okay.
All right, Kaylee, yes.
Kaylee, yeah.
I told a couple to pinch each other's butts, and they had a boundary set not to touch butts.
No. You can't recover from that. You're like, sorry. Okay, let me tell you something kind of related. That's our last one though. But we had one of our first couples that ever booked with us. This is funny. We didn't have an engagement session with them, which that was like a huge priority for us in the get-go. So we met them that day. They didn't want to do a consult. That's a no-no for us. But we met them that day, and we go into portraits, and finally, it had been kind of awkward in the morning, but finally we go into portraits, and I'm like, okay, we're going to get comfortable. This is going to be normal. They, bring up how they're not kissing until the wedding. And I'm not saying not kissing in their life. I understand maybe that's a boundary for people, like not touching people's butts. That day, the wedding day, they decide not to kiss all day until the first kiss. Like, that's not a thing. Comment below if you've heard of that before, because I don't think that's a thing. They just, like, decided that during portraits, too. Like, the groom was like...
It's like they were doing a first look. So,
yes,
like, they
did
were
a first
to see
look.
each other, hanging out the whole day, but they could not kiss. That was a hard line.
But it was, like, decided then, wasn't it? He was like, we shouldn't kiss, right?
Yeah, it is weird.
Like, I directed him. And I was just like, what?
We didn't really know them that well either.
Yeah, so it's double awkward.
Yeah.
You guys, okay, this is freaking fun. So if you like this, hit subscribe, comment so that you can tell me. We want to do more like this. I'm thinking that was fun. I think that the next one should be your cringeworthy client experiences, like client horror stories. Like, because I'm the person who's like in a Facebook group and people are writing about their horror stories, you know, and everybody's giving opinions. But like, I'm just reading it like, drama. I love them. So I think that'd be super, super fun.
Yeah.
So you guys, that's all we have. Thank you so much for submitting. We couldn't have done this without you. And until next time, bye.